Morning, members. Can I please remind you to ensure that mobile phones and other devices are on silent, that banners, etc. are not permitted, and members of the public are not allowed to address the meeting, to use the microphones which are available when addressing the meeting, that you may be filmed or recorded during this meeting. Thank you. Thank you for standing for Madam Chairman.
Good morning, members.
Good morning.
Can I ask my chaplain, Reverend Ross Olding, to lead prayers, please?
Father God, this morning we give thanks for seasons. We thank you for this past year of service. We thank you for the service and care shown by the chairman and the responsibilities carried, the decisions made, and the many unseen acts of kindness and duty offered for the good of others. Lord, today we give thanks for all who serve this county, for councillors, officers, staff, volunteers, and our communities. We thank you for their commitment to the welfare of Nottinghamshire and its people. Lord, as one season of responsibility ends and another begins, would you grant wisdom, strength, and compassion to those who take up their new duties? May they lead with integrity, listen with humility, and seek always the common good. Lord, bless this council and its work. Where there is division, would you bring understanding? Where there is difficulty, bring perseverance, and where there is need, bring generosity and hope. May Nottinghamshire continue to flourish in towns and villages, in its families and young people, its elderly and vulnerable, and all who call this county home. Guide this council to work together with respect and purpose, that public service may be marked by justice, mercy, and peace. And in all that is done, I pray that each individual keeps sight of their shared responsibility to care for one another. Lord, I pray for the ongoing prosperity of this council and all who serve. In your name, amen.
Item 1, election of the chairman. However, I have a short speech to give. You'll see on the monitor, these are all the events that I have attended in the last year. It's quite a number, but I've loved and I've enjoyed every single one of them. And 1 year ago, I stood before you with great humility. I accepted the role of chair of Nottinghamshire County Council, and I promised that I would not fail you. A promise that I have kept and delivered. A huge thank you to fellow councillors, both here and within the county, for their support and hospitality. A very special thank you as well, and a well done to our civic office, who have dealt with all the invitations, etc. Their hard work, dedication, and expertise has been invaluable, both to the council and most certainly to me. All arrangements have been spot on and all have gone to plan. Someone else who is deserving of my sincere thanks is my chaplain, Ross Olding. He has supported and guided me throughout my time in local politics. His work, both in the church and throughout the community, has and is commendable. Ross, a little later on, I have a small gift awaiting for you as a token of my appreciation. Nottinghamshire is a great county, and I've had the privilege of visiting every single borough and district. It is indeed an honour to be Madam Chair of this council, and in effect, the first citizen. We also have wonderful people I have met. I've met so many this year, many unsung heroes and heroines, working hard to make a difference in their communities. I've also had the privilege to work both with and alongside our Lord Lieutenant and Deputy Lieutenants and the High Sheriff of Nottinghamshire. It was such a great honour. I have taken part in a number of citizenship ceremonies this year. These are held at registry offices around the county, where we welcome people from all over the world who have applied and gained British citizenship. Then they have made their homes and lives in our country. These ceremonies are very special, and their stories and backgrounds are often fascinating and humbling when you hear of the literal and figurative long journeys taken. I enjoy arriving early, so the little ones, I enjoy arriving early, so I'm able to engage and hopefully break the ice a little. I also usually have a lot of chocolate for the little ones. I obviously obtain parent permission before any is given, and the ceremonies are followed by dozens of photographs by and of the new citizens. They proudly stand next to a picture of the King and also Madam Chair, and of course the Lord Lieutenant's deputies. I think you've now seen, oh no, it's still going, my annual visits. So I'm now moving on to the last events that I had attended, which is over the last few weeks. So the first one is at the Attenborough Nature Reserve. On the 30th of April, I was invited along to the Attenborough Nature Reserve, celebrating its 60th anniversary. This was alongside Sir David Attenborough's 100th birthday. Representatives of organisations, councillors and dignitaries, including our Lord Lieutenant, Professor Veronica Pickering, enjoyed and celebrated the occasion in this much-loved reserve. That is nationally important for nature and best known for its birds, with over 250 species of birds. It was a great day. The following day, I had the privilege of visiting the palace and the King's Garden Party. It was perfect weather, pomp and ceremony aplenty, with the Yeomen of the Guard preceding the royals. Prince William, Princess Catherine, Prince Edward, with his wife, the Duchess, and other members of the royal family were present. 2 military bands entertained us throughout the day, and food and drink was aplenty. It was great fun. and an honour to attend this superb event with so many of my fellow councillors. And yes, again, the Lord Lieutenant was also in attendance, making it extra special. So thank you to Veronica. I'm going to sit down now and I shall continue reading, but I'm just going to sit down for a little bit. The following venue was the Nottinghamshire County Show. And as a member of the Newark Notts Agricultural Society, it was an honour to attend this particular event. Once again, the sun was shining and it was glorious. Lots of photographs were taken and prizes handed out. So a very busy day all in all, and I loved every moment. It was even better when I spotted my charity, Pulp Friction. And as usual, I was asked to pose photographs. Only this time, it was on a bike. Whilst I managed to get on it, it took several standards by to lift me off it. This was not helped by the voluminous dress which I was wearing and was tangled around the pedals. Luckily, I was undamaged, but will not be riding a bike again in a long, long time. Now, most of you will know that Pulp Fiction is my charity. It is a social enterprise supporting learning, disabled and autistic people to develop their work readiness, social and independent skills. I am honoured and proud to be able to support this project, and shortly I will announce the amount raised for the charity. However, I want to express my heartfelt thanks to everyone who has donated to this worthy cause. And a particular thanks to Stuart Matthews for his never-ending generosity and support. I don't think a week has passed throughout the year without a donation from Councillor Matthews. Many, many thanks. My final visit was to the QMC. My final visit took place on Tuesday of this week, and this gave me an opportunity to see for myself the hard work and dedication exhibited by the incredible staff. Our NHS is our most precious asset. No other country can match the fortitude of its workforce and generosity. Make no mistake, everyone, this is our jewel in the crown, and we must take care to treasure it and not ill-use it. In particular, I spoke with some of the clinicians who were working behind the scenes on research programmes. Discoveries are being made en masse, ensuring a better outlook for sick people. Every person I spoke to was enthusiastic and proud to be working hard for the NHS. Can we just give a round of applause, please, for the NHS, because it is an amazing... So we are now moving on to the election of the chairman. We want to give our gifts out first. But before we do that, I have some gifts to give out, and I'm just going to make my way towards them, and I'll be calling the recipients. Yes. Shall I come down to you?
Yeah, can we have the chaplain, please?
Can the chaplain please come up to the dais? So can Lisa please come to the front? Here, and also Nikolai. Amazing lady. He has been my guide and comforter. Okay. My husband. He has driven me all over Nottinghamshire. His own moan. About 500 Champion's name previously. Stuart. Finally.
Chair. Well done.
So let's move on. Election of chairman. So item A, nominations for voting. I call upon Councillor Mick Barton to nominate Councillor Christopher Adagokai as chairman of Nottinghamshire County Council until the annual meeting 2027. And Councillor Barton, would you like to speak?
Thank you, Chairman. I would like to formally nominate Christopher Adiboki to become chairman of this council. He's done a fantastic job as vice chairman. He's supported you throughout the year. We're all sorry to see you go. But Chris, I know you're going to be a great chairman and we'll look forward to seeing you and working with you over the next 12 months. So thank you.
I now call upon Councillor Martin Wright to second the motion. Councillor Wright to speak.
Thank you, Chairman. It's a wonderful occasion to second this motion. Chris has been a support for you all over the county, travelling through your 102, whatever it was it 102, Chairman?
104. 104.
104 dates.
Yeah. There you go.
Wonderful, just wonderful. So it's a pleasure to second the motion. Thank you, Chair.
Well done, Martin.
Are there any other nominations? No? I will now put the motion to the vote. Is that agreed? I now declare that Councillor Christopher Adegoke has been elected chairman of the County Council until the annual meeting in 2027.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. One more time. Without popping you on the note.
You have messed my hair up.
Oh, I am sorry. I am sorry. Okay. Thank you. Chairman.
I'm now departing. So I will now take a seat. And I'm very glad to be joining you all.
I will now ask you to read out your declaration of acceptance of office. Please. Your microphone is on. Whenever you're ready.
Let's do that. I, Christopher Arugudade Adegoke, having been appointed to the office of Chairman of Nottinghamshire County Council, hereby declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfill the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. Thank you, members.
Witness that for you.
Yes, thank
Can
you.
you make it official? For the big one.
Yes, that's right.
Let's go straight over.
Okay, yeah, put that down. Yeah. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much,
Very good.
Adrian, Executive Director. I'm very grateful. Thank you, members, again. Thank you.
We'll do your portrait.
Oh, yes, that's fine. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Let's take
Thank you.
yours.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Papers. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, that's my, yeah.
Go on, Mr.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Address. Right.
Can I have some water? Of course, yes. Thank you. That's all as well.
Yes, that's right. He who gives water gives life, they say. So thank you, members, again. I'm going to go into reading my speech of gratitude to everyone, and I'll be grateful to have your attention. Yeah. Good morning, members, officers, distinguished guests, family, friends, and residents of Nottinghamshire. It is with great humility, gratitude to our Lord Jesus Christ, and deep respect for the people of Nottinghamshire that I accept the office of Chairman of Nottinghamshire County Council. I thank members sincerely for the confidence you have all placed in me. I do not take the responsibility lightly, and I'll pledge to serve this council and the people of Nottinghamshire with dignity, fairness, integrity, and respect throughout my year in office. By way of a brief background, I am Christopher Arogundade Adegoke. Since moving to the United Kingdom in 2010, I have worked in education and student welfare within a family-owned transnational education organization operating in the UK and in Nigeria. During this time, I supported government-sponsored students, including 17 students with various disabilities, who were graciously offered admission to Nottingham Trent University and helped facilitate placements for hundreds of students into several universities across the UK, Europe, and India. I am a graduate of Nottingham Trent University myself, where I earned a master's degree in international development. Prior to this, I obtained a bachelor's degree in history and a master's degree in public administration abroad. Like many, I have faced significant professional challenges, particularly during the COVID-19 period, which strengthened my resilience and faith in God. I am grateful to Ron Harter-Wright and Councillor Richard Darrington for their support and for opening a path into political public service that I had never expected. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to the people of Hucknall West, some of them in the gallery up there, who placed their trust in me and a lot watching online by electing me as their county councillor at a pivotal time in my life. Their confidence allowed me to serve, grow, and better support my family. I will always remain thankful to that trust. Today, I am immensely proud to represent my division, Hucknall West, and the people of Nottinghamshire in this historic office. Nottinghamshire is a county of strong identity, proud traditions, rich history, and hardworking, compassionate people as well. I will carry that spirit with me throughout my tenure as chairman. I am grateful to be supported today by colleagues, residents of Hucknall West, and supporters from across political parties and communities, as well as friends joining online across the world. Your encouragement and kindness are sincerely appreciated. Members, my journey to this office began in May 2025, when our leader, Councillor Mick Barton, asked during a meeting of newly elected Reform UK councillors whether anyone would support the newly appointed Madam Chair. As Vice Chairman, after a brief pause, I stepped forward and raised my hand. At that time, I did not fully appreciate the scale of the responsibility, but I understood the importance of service. That decision ultimately led me to my becoming the first minority chairman of this council. It is a powerful reminder that leadership and opportunity should always be guided by service, inclusion, and merit. I wish to thank you, members across this chamber, regardless of political affiliation, for the kindness, encouragement, and support you have given me during my first year as a councillor. Many of you offered compassion and friendship during challenging moments, reminding me to remain focused on service and to finish strongly. I also extend my sincere thanks to our former civic heads, Councillor John Gold and Councillor Richard Butler. Thank you, sir. Our council leader, Councillor Mick Barton, our chief whip, Councillor Martin Wright, all cabinet members, and the officers of this council, including our executive director, monitoring officer, all directors present and away, managers and staff. Your professionalism and dedication sustain the vital work of this authority. I wish to thank Councillor John Doddy, the Vice Chairman-elect, for stepping forward to provide guidance and stability to the civic roles, and Councillor James Gamble for his insight and support. Members, I am pleased to announce my choosing Chairman's charity for the year. When You Wish Upon a Star, a Nottinghamshire-based charity. This exceptional children's charity brings hope, joy, and unforgettable experience to children living with serious and life-threatening limiting illnesses. It currently supports around 100 children across the UK and seeks to expand our reach to about 200 with our support. Through carefully tailored wishes, from meeting personal heroes to visiting dream destinations such as Walt Disney World in Florida or Disneyland in Paris, the charity creates lasting memories for children and their families. During the most trying times, more than granting wishes, the charity reminds families that they are not alone and that hope and kindness endure. As chairman, I will strive to chair meetings fairly and impartially as well, and support our communities as best as I can. And I would uphold the traditions and dignity of this council and represent Nottinghamshire with pride, unity, and a strong commitment to public service. Thank you once again for this tremendous honor. I look forward to serving the people of Nottinghamshire to the very best of my ability in the months ahead. May God bless Nottinghamshire. Thank you all very much. Thank you. I will now call upon Councillor Mick Barton to move that Councillor Jan Gold be thanked for her work as chairman of the council during the last year and be presented with a past chairman's badge of office.
Thank you, Chairman. Jan, what can I say? Thank you does not really seem enough for what you've done this year for this council. The stoic way you accept the role of chairman in this chamber is nothing short of amazing. Exactly what I would expect from you for the first minute I met you. Over my political career, I've worked with more than 50 chairmen and vice chairmen. Jan, you are up there with one of the best. Chris has got a lot to live up to being chairman, and I'm sure you'll do that, Chris. But this is about Jan. She's done 104 functions in 52 weeks on average. That is amazing in itself. I mention this because she has been through some hard times through her tenure. She broke her arm in her first few weeks, but she never moaned or missed one civic event. That's the lady she is. But that is a testament to commitment you have shown whilst undertaking the role of chairman. When I've been out and about within the county at meetings and visits, some with you, some without, all I ever hear is what a delight you are and how you are the epitome of a civic lead should be. I would now like to thank Christopher for being such a fantastic chairman and to supporting you over the last year. I must say a huge thank you to Pulp Fiction, who have been nothing short of being delightful at every event we've attended and you've attended and supported you. It has been a pleasure to see them each time. I congratulate you on all the amount you have raised for the charity this year. I would also like to thank all members and officers who have contributed throughout the year. I would now like to just say a huge thank you to the Reverend Rush Holding from the Avon Church of Stapleford, who has supported you through your time as chairman. Thank you, Russ. And finally, last but no means least, thank you, Ken. What a great support you have been for Jan behind this year. I was going to say, behind every woman there's a great man, but I won't say that. But well done, Jan. Well done. Would you come to the front, please?
Not yet, not yet, not yet.
Oh, not yet. Oh, sorry.
yet.
Sorry, I'm jumping the gun. Sorry, Chairman. Yeah.
Councillor Martin Wright to second the motion, please.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm delighted to second the motion, and I agree with everything the leader says, but I always do because he's my gaffer. So, Jan, you've been a delight. You've been a delight to be a friend. You've always been welcome in my office, and you still are. And I'm sure you have a fantastic year, or 2 or 3 years as Vice Chair of Health Scrutiny. So thank you for what you've done, and I'll formally second the motion. Thank you.
Well done. Well said.
And I'll open the debate and I call on the speakers who have indicated to speak. And I'll be starting with Councillor Dr. Dodi.
Yes, thank you very much indeed. Newly installed chair, looking resplendent with your chains, etc. I think you're just going to be a breath of fresh air. I think it's fantastic. In terms of Jan Gould, I think I know her as well as everybody, or better than anybody, with the exception of her husband. Yes, I've probably known her since the 1990s. And I remember on one particular occasion, we went to the middle of Brampicket Park. We put up a stand, Jan. I gave you some leaflets and you grabbed every single person that walked past and I checked their pulse for atrial fibrillation. And we saved lives on that day. People still come up to us and say, you diagnosed my atrial fibrillation. And myself and Jan, over the 10 years that followed, through the patient participation group, went everywhere. Indeed, one of the first Pulp Friction presentations was at one of our dues. We set up a Dementia Day. We invited them in the early 2000s, and this was just at the very origin of that charity. And that charity then has gone on since then. So both you and I have been involved with that charity since then, and it's been absolutely fantastic. I'm going to say that just over a year ago, I was charged with trying to find somebody to run with me in an election. And I went to Jan's door on a Sunday. She had settled into blissful retirement with Ken. Her son was there. The grandchildren was there. She had her feet up. And I said, I need you, Jan. I said, it's little over an election, over a month to go for an election, and I need you to help me win it. I took a little bit of persuasion, but she says, I'll join you, John. How long is it to the election? I said, about 6 weeks. She says, I'm going to join you, but I have to tell you that tomorrow I go on a round-the-world cruise, and I'm not going to be back for a month. So I said, don't you worry, John. I'll have you elected when you get back. After she got elected, I knocked on her door once again. I said, Jan, we really need a chair. We need a chairman of this organisation. By default, if you don't do it, John O'Leary will be the next chair, as he's been the vice chair. She said, all right, I'll do it. I think that the sheer volume of work that you've done, 104, it's very, very impressive. And Chris, you've got an awful lot to do with able assistance and also with the help of a vice chair who's on the same corridor as you, who will steer you and help you through that. I think nobody can be anything but impressed by the sheer visuality that Jan Gould brought to the position over the last year. She's been absolutely fantastic. She and I will be out and about in Stapleford and Brookstow for the years to come, so she's not getting anywhere near retirement. And I would just like to say she's been absolutely fantastic. And if we can even half emulate what she's done, we will be immensely proud. Thank you indeed, Jan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'd like to call on Councillor Richard Butler as well to go on and speak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and many congratulations on your new appointment. I think I know how you're probably feeling right now, sitting right there. But it seems incredible that it's a year ago that I handed over the rein to Jan. And if you're anything like me, you would have found it all went very, very quickly. You can't believe where the time goes. And you've done so many events as well that we saw on the screen, you told us about. And I know you've enjoyed it all. And I know as well it's hard work. So well done on those, but also particular well done for the work you did for your charity, Pulp Friction. I saw some of colleagues there from the charity at one or two events, and I could see how passionate you are about them and the great job they do. And you've certainly helped to raise their profile. So well done, Jan. And again, congratulations, Mr. Chairman. We'll have to get used to saying that, won't we? So sometimes you'll find some people might call you madam by mistake, but that will just be a passing phase. So, Mr. Chairman, well done to Councillor Gould. Thank you.
I will now call on Councillor Faz Chowdhury to please speak.
Thank you, Chairman. Today's events, for time being, is about our outgoing chairman, Madam Chair Jan Gould. She was an amazing lady to start with. When we formed the group, she was from the beginning. How can I explain this? Already our leader, Mick Barton, explained nicely to all the house. And what I can say to her, thank you very much for serving us with your kind and dignity for the rest of the Nottingham County Council and the public. And also I'd like to congratulate Chris for his appointed chairman. And also I'd like to add you, thank you very much for the cake that you made, fruit cake that I still remember. I just was joking to you and you created fruit cake for me and bring it to the councils. And I'd like to thank everybody to support her. And the outgoing chairman, it's so beautiful to follow you. You are our role model. Thank you very much, everyone.
And I call on Councillor Green to please speak.
Thank you, Chair. It's a quick one, and I thought I would be doing you a disservice, Jan, to not publicly honour you. Just want to say thank you for being such a steady voice and a steady ship. I believe every family, every group needs a mother, and I certainly feel that you are that person to our group. Thank you for all of our lovely chats. Please keep coming in. Please keep talking to me. I've never heard in this 66 chamber a bad word said about you, and that speaks volumes of your character. Thank you for serving us and the people of Nottinghamshire and setting such a high example. Certainly when we all got here in May, I knew there was a lot of questions asked of this group, and you have absolutely smashed it. So thank you for all you've done, and we love and appreciate you.
I now call on Councillor David Clark to please stand up and speak. Thank you.
Madam Chair, on behalf of the Council and the Reform UK team, I'd like to offer our sincere thanks for outstanding service over the last year, which has absolutely flown by. I think we can all agree that you've led this council with great integrity, professionalism and good judgment throughout what often has been difficult circumstances. Your hard work and dedication have not gone unnoticed, I think, across the entire chamber. And I think it's been appreciated by members across all groups. I feel you have chaired meetings with fairness, patience, and good humour, ensuring business was conducted properly and also treating everyone with respect. And it's no surprise to me that you've earned such popularity across the chamber during your time in office. Thank you for your leadership and the example that you've set to us all. Good luck to the incoming chair in his year as chairman. While I'm congratulating people moving position, also congratulations to the 1,453 new councillors that were elected last week, and commiserations to the 400 Tories that didn't quite make the seat. I'm sure some of those are good. Thank you very much.
David. I'll call on Councillor Jerry Stewart, please speak.
Thank you, Chairman. Councillor Gould, seems very strange saying that, but I'd just like to place on record my thanks to you for the work that you've done over the last year. You've carried out your role with dignity, elegance, and I think pure class. And it's been lovely to watch and see you partake in the events, and I know how much you've really, really enjoyed it. We've all enjoyed watching you in the role, and you know, the events that you've carried out have really, they're a lot richer for having you as part of that experience. So yeah, my heartfelt thanks. It'll be nice to have you in the chamber, and now you can speak from the other side, and I know that you're raring to go on that. So yes, so thank you, Councillor Gould. And I'd like to extend my congratulations to Chairman Adigoke. I've known Chris now for probably 18 months or so since we first met at a branch meeting, and I've always found you really, I've never seen you sad. You're always very happy and smiley, and I look forward to seeing you grow into the role over the year ahead. So yeah, I look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. On Councillor Gaynor-Mann to please speak.
Thank you, Chair. Jan, since I first met you in June last year, you've come across as friendly, professional, empathetic, as well as being... Sorry about that. So yeah, Jan, since I first met you in June last year, you've come across as professional, friendly, empathetic, as well as being down to earth and relatable. That's what we love about you. You can relate to the average person. You really welcomed me in my new role, so I thank you for that. You have been an asset to Nottinghamshire County Council in the last year. Thank you for your hard work, and please carry on being you, because you are a beautiful human being. And also, I'd like to say congratulations to Chris for your new role as chairman, and I want to wish you every success in the future, and I'm sure you'll do really well. Thank you very much, both of you.
Thank you. I'd like to call on Councillor Bingham, please, to speak.
Really, just to echo what everybody else has said, Jan, it's been a real privilege working with you this last year. I've really enjoyed our chats in my office, and the door remains open at all times. So thank you for your class in representing the county in all those engagements. And you've set well, I'll find out if you've set a high bar for the new chair, because on there it said you attended Worksop Half Marathon. So what time did you do? Because it's got to beat that. Thank you very much.
I'd like to call on Councillor Wendy Lukacs to please bring up her speech.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Jan, what can I say to you? Honestly, your passion, your enthusiasm for your role and the support that you've given me in this last 12 months is absolutely second to none. This woman is absolutely amazing. She throws herself 100% into everything she does. She's an asset to this council, and that is why I fondly call her mum, because she does, she looks after me and has provided me with support. Jan, I absolutely applaud you for the services that you provided this council and you will continue to provide, and the support that you will continue to provide me. So thank you for that. I'd like to welcome Councillor Adedoke and wish you all the best in your new role. And thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you. And I'll call on Councillor Dawn Justice to please bring up her speech.
Yeah, I also want to echo everything that's been said here in the chamber, because we all realise and recognise what an amazing person Jan is and what an amazing job she's made of all the things that she's done this year. In my role as Cabinet Member for Communities and Public Health, I thought I got out into the community a lot, but I started to feel like Denzel, the long-distance lorry driver in Only Fools and Horses. If you remember the episode, wherever he drove in the country, Del Boy would pop up, but wherever I drove in the county, Jan would pop up. She was always there at all the events, no matter what it was. And you were always a pleasure to work with at those events. It was absolutely brilliant to be with you, and your guidance for me has been first class, so thank you so much for that. I think Jan shows an immense amount of commitment and professionalism in everything she does. Not only the visits that we saw on the screen, but in chairing the meetings. So we'd all like to thank her very much for that. Chris, you've got big boots to fill, but I'm sure you can do it. So thank you too.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to call on Councillor Mike Robertson to please bring up your speech.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Is it Mr. Chair, Chairman? What are we going with? Whatever. Yeah, Mr. Chair. Yeah, so everybody's extending thanks to Jan, obviously. Great, Madam Chair. I'll reflect on the challenge that you had. It was a chamber of change. Change because we had a new controlling authority, one that had a mix of experience, I would say, and we also had an outgoing administration that probably weren't used to sitting on this side of the chamber. So to manage that challenge and doing it in the way that you did, and the lightness of your touch, commanding obedience within the chamber, I thought reflected fantastically on your character. So well done for your tenure. Well done to Councillor Adegoke, Mr. Chair. A fantastic appointment. I've got to know you over a year on health scrutiny, and you've been a fantastic member, bringing some really good insight and contributions to the committee. And I'll just finish on a little in-joke with the Health Scrutiny Committee, just to say, make sure you always know which agenda item we're actually on. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor. I'll call on Councillor Walker Golly to please speak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think I'd just again like to echo everything that everyone said about Jan. As a person, you're really supportive, lovely, lovely lady. It's been a pleasure to know you. But I also wanted to focus on the work rate, and I just wanted to say, as a first year as a councillor, I've tried to get to as many events as possible, and Dawn touched on it just now. I think there was one event that I've been to my first year where Jan wasn't there. So from Broxtowe to Newark and all across the county, I do think it's remarkable. And it's something that I'm quite proud of with our reform group here, that we're all very hard working. And I just wanted to note that the work rate is really, really commendable. Well done. Thank you very much. And congratulations to Chris as well.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you. I'll put the motion to the vote. Is that agreed? I now declare the motion is carried. Councillor John Gold, please come to the dais to receive your badge. You have provided to the people of Nottingham. Thank you for all you have done. God bless you.
I would also like to come on behalf of the members. I'm sure you've done that.
Thank you very much.
Just say something. It might be out of order, but I'm going to say it anyway. We're a great bunch of people right across the board, serving our communities, and it's a pleasure to be here and working with all of you. So keep up the good work, every one of you. I'm sure you will. And thank you for all your support. Thank you.
Yes, yes. We're now going into item 2, appointment of vice chairman. I call upon Councillor James Walker Golly to move the appointment of Councillor Dr. John Dudley as vice chairman of the County Council for the ensuing year.
Thanks again, Mr. Chairman. It gives me great pleasure to propose Councillor Dr. John Doddy for the position of Vice Chairman of the Council. I'll try and keep my remarks brief, as we all know Dr. Doddy well, and I'm certain he'll appreciate the extra time. John is an individual of immense character with a level of experience that few can match. I've total confidence that he'll provide exceptional support for Councillor Adegoke throughout the coming year. Dr. Doddy originally stood as a lone pioneer leading the way as the lone and first Reform County Councillor before being joined by his 40 colleagues, and he now embarks on a new chapter, and he's the right person for this journey. I'm very proud to nominate him for Vice Chairman of the Council.
And I call upon Councillor McBarton to second the motion, please.
I will formally second that motion of putting John Doddy as vice chairman. Dr. John Doddy. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Are there any other nominations, please? And I'll put the motion to the vote. I now declare that Councillor Dr. John Doddy has been duly appointed as Vice Chairman of the County Council. Please come to the dais to make your declaration of acceptance of office. Thank you, sir.
I, John Doddy, having been appointed to the office of Vice Chairman of Nottinghamshire County Council hereby declare that I will take the office upon myself, duly, faithfully fulfil the duties according to the best of my judgment and ability. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to actually take on the role of the Vice Chair and fill the mighty boots that I've left behind my great friend Christopher. Congratulations, Christopher.
Thank you.
You will be fantastic.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
There's been so much said about Jan, we could write a book on it, Jan. So I don't know, maybe a book will come out in due course. How to chair a council. So thank you very much indeed, Jan. So I think what we're looking at is a visibility of council which occurred over the last year. It was important to get out and get seen. It was important to visit 104 plus places. This year will be a year of not only visibility, but this year will be a year of growth. This year will be a year of tangible recreation of the pomp and ceremony that we previously had in the civic office. And many of us remember how that civic office looked so beautiful. I see Councillor Butler smiling over there. I mean, I came here in 2012, so I've seen 14 councillors come and go, and 4 administrations come and go, from cake cuts through to Allen Roads, back to cake cuts, with the help of the Mansfield Independents, back to Ben Bradley, etc. And 14 different chairs come through. And over that period of time, you get to see a lot. To begin with, there was a car that used to pick you up. I think it was a green Rolls Royce, if I remember correctly. We've got to get that car back again.
That's right.
Yes. And there was a suite of rooms. And those suite of rooms allowed people to understand the importance of civic ceremony. Everywhere you go, you have to be reminded of it. And that's why buildings are important. That's why ceremony is important. That's why we're here today, because history is important. It creates intergenerational wisdom. It passes it from person to person. It creates resilience. It creates an understanding of the value of things. And in a world which has got very few values at times, it's up to us to recreate that understanding of what is important, what is of value, what we should continue to maintain, and how we should go. This year will be a year of growth and recreation of the tangibility of the importance of the civic process. And I'm very much looking forward to doing that and bringing that back again. So personalities. And the one I remember most is Richard Butler, famous for the line, "Doddy, get down off that chair." Don't do it again. They've put wheels on the chairs now. I'm not a suspicious person, but I'm just wondering where that actually came from. So this is going to be a year where you might have previously been used to a quiet vice chairman. This is not going to be a year of a quiet vice chairman. It's going to be a year of, I hope, robustious challenge. And I think that that's what's needed in a council where people feel free to express their views, feel free to challenge each other, and feel free to bring about the democratic process. You can have that argument later. So, all I'm going to say is that it's absolutely brilliant. I thank Councillor James Gurley Walker for introducing me. This is a man who will be representing the County Council on UK REIT in the coming weeks on the panel. That is how far people have come in a very short period of time. A rising star. I think you're absolutely brilliant, James, and your knowledge has expanded exponentially. I see before me 41 candidates who have matured over a 12-month period in a way that you wouldn't believe possible. And that is why I feel I can leave you down there now and come up here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is absolutely fantastic to take on the role of the Vice Chair. And let's have a bit of fun today. Thank you.
Item 3, please, minutes. Can I ask Council to approve the minutes of the last meeting? All those in favour? This is agreed, and thank you. We'll go to item number 4. Apologies for absence. I will now ask each group to provide any apologies. Please ensure reasons for any apology are also provided. I'll call on Councillor Martin Wright. Do you have any apologies?
Thank you, Chairman, and congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you.
Yes, I have 4 apologies. Councillor Brill for other reasons, Councillor John for other reasons, and unfortunately, Councillor Mason and Councillor Vernon, illness. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll call on Councillor Wheeler. Do you have any apologies, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and once again, congratulations on your appointment. I hope you have a great year. We have no apologies today. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I call on Councillor Clooney? Do you have any apologies, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations on your appointment. I have Councillor Gowland is absent for other reasons, and Councillor Clark is late for other reasons too.
Thank you. And I call on Councillor Carr. Do you have any apologies, please, sir?
No apologies, Chairman. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And firing on all cylinders, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We now go to item number 5, declarations of interest. If any council officer has an interest in any matter on the agenda, you should please declare it now. Please raise your hand if you have any interest to declare. When called to speak, you should state what type of interest it is and give brief details. Thank you. All right, thank you. We're going to go to item number 6, Chairman's business. Members, as this is my first meeting as chairman, I would like to take this opportunity to inform members that I expect courtesy, please, and respect to be shown by all members across the chamber. And I look forward to hearing some good debates as well this year. Wouldn't it be very nice if there are no points of order raised at all in this new year? Thank you very much all, and we look forward to a brilliant year indeed. Thank you. We will be having lunch or breaking for lunch exactly 12:30 p.m. this afternoon. Thank you. Item number 7, constituency issues. This item gives members who have previously given notice by the deadline the opportunity to speak for up to 3 minutes on any particular matter relevant to their constituencies or any particular issues arising in their electoral division, which is relevant to the services provided by the county council. This is an opportunity simply to air these issues in a council meeting. It will not give rise to a debate on the issues or a question and answer session. Members are reminded that there is a maximum time limit of 15 minutes for this item on the agenda, and each member may only speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. I was notified of 10 requests to speak by the deadline, and they are as follows. Councillor Barry Answer, the question is Zebra Crossing on the A617 Plesley.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to congratulate you on your position of our new chairman, and also congratulate our new vice chairman. And I'm sure you'll both do well together. And I don't see any problems at all running meetings as it's been so far. There's been no problems at all. Zebra crossing on the 617 at Plesley. For the people that don't know where that is, people that's in the south of the county, it's the main road that runs between the M1 and Mansfield, and then also to the Mar route to Sutton in Ashfield. Residents that live in Plesley are very close to the chemist and the Popham Drive, Bagshaw Street, Teversall Avenue, Church Street, find it almost impossible to cross the road to catch a bus to and from the town. The bus stop is close to a bend in the road, and it's very difficult to see traffic coming down. Whether it's a 30 mile an hour, but if we're coming down at 30 mile an hour, it will be very fast because nearly everything has to go so slow through there. When the road is clear, that is, which is not very often, it is still very difficult to cross that road. It's a dual carriageway, most of that road down there, and therefore cars are overtaken and jogging for Giraldo for a position to get one position more than the one that they're in now. A lot of children, elderly people and families find it very difficult to cross. There have been many, many near misses. It's an accident waiting to happen. Been near misses, and we desperately need to get across that road safely. They're going to build another 800 homes only a quarter of a mile away. That's going to be a lot more traffic going up and down there. And in the morning now, it's very difficult to move much at all. From 8 o'clock till around 10:30, it's all bumper to bumper, and in some cases both ways. But it's very, very difficult to cross the road unless you want to take your life into your own hands and just step out. There is obviously a lot of people crossing. There is a cemetery on that side of the road, and we don't want to see any people going into it. We want to keep them safe, keep them out of that. I think that is important. And years ago, there was the Mar route.
You've got 30 seconds left.
The Mar route, to the top of that road, was going to be a bypass down through the back of Plesley. Never happened. It's not going to happen now. Other things have happened there. So the people in Plesley have been shortchanged with that. I appreciate your help to support this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ansah. I now call on Councillor Sue Saddington regarding the Southern Link Road. Please, Councillor.
Thank you, Chairman, and congratulations on your new appointment. I hope you have a fruitful and happy year.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I'm just going to speak about the Southern Relief Road around Newark from Balderton to Farndon. The aim of this new road is to relieve traffic around Newark to and from the A1 and the A46. It's a single carriageway road, which, although welcome, we know may cause future gridlocks. Over the several years of construction, myself, Councillors Sam Smith, Councillor Keith Girling and Councillor John O'Lee have kept in touch with residents regarding concerns and attended 6 weekly meetings and then reported back to our respective parish council meetings. Newark and Sherwood District Council planning officers, Notts County Council highways officers, Farndon District parish councillors and representatives from the urban and civic organisation who've been building the road have also attended 6 weekly meetings. During this time, storms Babette and Henk caused houses and businesses to flood on Farndon Road and in Farndon. These residents, some having been flooded now 4 times, now find it virtually impossible to insure their properties. We at Nottinghamshire County Council have worked with Newark and Sherwood District Council and the Environment Agency on providing funding for flood prevention measures to the properties which we know flooded. The residents, who I've visited several times, are afraid they will flood again and lose all their irreplaceable belongings. In the meantime, we were informed that the floodplain was raised with leftover materials, giving more concerns to the residents. The River Devon nearby is a small tributary. It is full of water, and during the flood, the sides were washed away, and now, instead of taking excess water, it's choked with grass, weeds, and plants. It is supposed to help take the water from the new development, but I ask, does it have the capacity? During the last flood, we tried to stop the water entering properties. The aqua packs were not strong enough, and there was nowhere for the water to go except inside the properties. During the last 2 or 3 weeks...
Councillor, you've got 30 seconds, ma'am.
Sorry?
30 seconds.
During the last 2 weeks, it's been reported again that waste material has been dumped on the plain. I've written to Newark and Sherwood District Council and the Environment Agency and asked them to inspect without delay and ascertain the raised levels are not raised on the floodplain. The Southern Relief Road is now open. A recent photograph showed a group of people standing on it with a banner. We were mistakenly thought to be on the photograph. It was said we should be sorting out the problems and not having photographs taken on the road. For clarification, we were not on the photograph. We are still listening to the residents' concerns which have been created by this project. Those on the photograph were not the people who attended the regular meetings.
The time is
Thank
up.
you.
Thank I'm going to be calling on Councillor Russell Dodge regarding work of the Chesterfield Canal Trust.
And Dr. John Doddy as the Vice Chairman. I wanted to highlight the issue of littering across the county that blights the areas we all live in. and I'd urge all members in the chamber today to do what they can in the communities to help reduce this. As one of the Nottinghamshire County Council representatives of the Chesterfield Canal Trust, I'd like to Chesterfield Canal that runs through my district of Worksop East and 30 miles across North Nottinghamshire. The canal was opened in 1777 by the great James Brindley, a fine engineer of repute in that era. But there are some hard-working volunteers who maintain the Chesterfield Canal, affectionately known as the Pythoneers. I myself volunteer on the Chesterfield Canal to go out litter picking on a Python the workboat, a 40-foot boat that chugs up and down the Chesterfield Canal from its stretch from Shire Oaks all the way out to West Stopworth. Across the year, picking all sorts of items and stuff that's been tossed into the canal. It really is quite sad to see on some visits. A most recent trip we took, we removed 7 tonnes of vegetation that have been tossed into the canal, 25 black bags of litter, including cans, bottles, paper, a number of discarded fishing plugs, which are very dangerous to the wildlife and the ecosystem on the canal, a shopping trolley, footballs, you name it, we find it. But the most interesting thing we found was a huge concrete bust that had been stolen from a local resident's garden of the character Stitch from a Disney film called Lilo and Stitch. All 28 kilos of it. It took 6 of us to get this out of the canal, and using the power of social media, 4 hours later we found the rightful owner, and 48 hours later we returned it to the garden it had been stolen from. The most famous cargo carried along the canal, for the historians amongst us, will know that after the fire that burnt the Westminster House of Parliament down, between 1841 and 1844, 250,000 tonnes of stone that were cut on the canal sailed through Kiverton, through Worksop, through Retford, out through Misterton, we always get it in, out into, thank you, out into West Stopworth, onto the Trent, onto the Humber, down the North Sea, into the Thames, and the Houses of Parliament we see now were built from that stone. Thank you very much.
Well, then, Councillor Mike Robertson, regarding the need for a school hall at Everton Primary School, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Everton Primary School in the wonderful division of Misterton, it's Wonderton, yeah, is in desperate need of a school hall. School was built in 1913 and it's in the style of most of the rural schools in the area of this period, with a large communal corridor area and classrooms adjacent to this. The school is run by the most amazing head teacher, Andrew Green, and currently caters for over 100 children across all year groups. The school has a very strong reputation in the area due to the leadership of Andrew and the quality of the staff he manages. The reputation is such that the school attracts students from surrounding villages, further afield in Harworth and across the border in South Yorkshire. What the school lacks is a hall where the children can come together at lunchtime and sit in an appropriate setting to eat their food and have an appropriate facility to do indoor physical education. What this has led to over many years is students eating their lunch at their classroom tables and having to move their classroom furniture to do indoor PE in inclement weather. I'm sure everyone can imagine the challenges this presents, with food waste, often on the classroom floors in the afternoon lessons, a logistical nightmare to serve and clear, and also to then conduct PE. The whole classroom has to be reconfigured, wasting valuable lesson time. This is not acceptable. This problem has gone on for years, and it was ignored by my predecessor and the former administration, which I find most disappointing. Children should be able to have the dignity to eat their lunch meal in an appropriate setting and have a fit-for-purpose space for conducting PE lessons. After all, 2 of the most important building blocks of health are nutrition and physical activity. What are we teaching our young children if at this level of investment they get in this area of school isn't putting value to those building blocks? Thankfully, our Cabinet Member for Education and Send, my good friend Simon Wright, has already been with me to visit the school and understands the challenges the school faces. My good friend and leader, Mick Barton, has also invited the children to the County Hall for a visit and to hand-deliver letters they are writing to him as part of their persuasive writing skills, asking for a school hall. They're even going to hold their school council session in the County Hall debating chamber. Thank you, Chair. What a contrast this makes from the former administration, who ignored the needs of the Everton Primary, to a leader in Cabinet eager to deliver a solution. Investment in our children is vitally important, and this Reform administration will not fail in that task. Thank you.
Yes, we have completed the 15 minutes allowed for this item. All remaining speeches fall and can be resubmitted for the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Did I hear a point of order from Councillor Lawton?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, you do
Carry
have
on.
a point of order from
Carry
me.
on, Councillor Lawton.
In my, with my limited math skills,
Yes.
5 times 3 is 15 minutes. You've only heard 4 3-minute speeches.
So
as
mathematically,
a result,
mathematically you are correct.
the members over speaking is not my problem.
Both of you should please hold it.
I think
You are reducing
be
my
allowed to
ability
speak.
to be able
Would
to
you
talk
please
on my
hold it and sit down, sir? Okay? This is our first meeting this year, and I want us to just do things properly. Let's just work the way we should work. Please, Dr. Dodd.
It will be slow, so we have
Please.
to allow exception.
Councillor Lott. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well done, John. Thank you. So I'm very quickly going to talk about the A616 in my
Councillor
patch.
Lott, you can't do that, sir.
Thank you,
Can you please sit down?
What? You just said it could.
Just said it could.
The chairman is chairing the meeting.
I'm in charge, sir.
I
Please
understand
sit
you.
down.
No, I take that back, John.
Well,
To item number 8, please. I was notified of 8 petitions by the deadline. May I remind all members that there is a 1-minute time limit for the presentation of each petition. And there is a maximum time limit of 15 minutes for this item as well. I'll call now on Councillor Mike Introna. Please present your petition requesting a pedestrian crossing with lights on A620 Straight Mile at Granby Prison. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and may I also congratulate you on your appointment, and I hope you have both a enjoyable and very rewarding year in office. This is a petition for a pedestrian crossing with traffic lights on the A620 Straight Mile at Granby Prison. Phil Tetley was a father and stepfather to 7 children, a husband to Eve, a loved family member and friend to many. All of them are profoundly impacted after Phil was killed crossing the road on his way to work at Granby Prison. Phil was a tutor at the prison where he worked trying to help others. I've been asked to support and present this petition by his wife Eve and his nephew David. The tragedy happened on a gloomy morning on the 1st of last December. The petition has raised online over 4,000 signatures from residents and the many impacted by the tragedy and calls for urgent progress to provide a pedestrian crossing in this area to prevent such an awful tragedy ever happening again. Thank you.
I will now call on Councillor Mike Robertson. Please present your petition requesting the introduction of a weight restriction and traffic calming measures on Job Lane, Mathersey.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Job Lane in Mattersey is a residential road joining the arterial routes of Retford Road to the east of the village and Mattersey Road to the west. These two routes link traffic from the Retford area to the A631 in the north. So large volumes of traffic use Job Lane as a cut through, which as always brings issues of speeding. In addition, the quarry at Daneshill attracts a high volume of HGV traffic, which again use Job Lane, a small residential road, as a cut through from Retford Road to Main Street and onto the A631. In Sutton-cum-Lowndes to the south and the Mattersey Road route to the A631 in the north, there are either instituted HGV weight limits or unsuitable for HGV traffic signs to deter HGVs from using these routes. But in Mattersey, there appears to be little concern at HGV traffic cutting through this residential area. Residents of Job Lane have compiled this petition to call on officers to look at the option of introducing a weight limit on Job Lane to cause traffic of this nature.
Councillor, your time is up.
Oh, sorry.
I now call on Councillor Daniel Saban. Please present your petition requesting traffic calming measures on Otsal Road, Retford.
Thank you, Chair. Congratulations on your appointment and to you, Vice Chair, as well. Today I present the petition on behalf of the residents of Otsal Road, Retford, regarding the serious and ongoing road safety concerns within their community. This petition has been signed by local residents who are increasingly alarmed by the volume of speed of traffic that is used in Otsal Road. What should be a safe residential road has become a source of daily anxiety for families, pedestrians, cyclists, pet owners and drivers alike. Residents fear that without intervention, it is only a matter of time before a far more serious incident occurs involving a member of the public. Therefore, this petition requests that the Highways Department urgently consider a number of actions, including a formal traffic speed and safety assessment, the installation of fixed or mobile speed enforcement cameras, a review of current signage and traffic calming measures, and additional steps to reduce traffic noise, improve safety for residents, pets and wildlife. Okay.
Time is up 1 minute, please.
Thank you very much, Chair.
I will now call on Councillor Keith Gorlin. Please present your petition requesting a two-can crossing on Barbridge Road. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Before you start my minute, can I just congratulate you on your appointment to Chairman and Councillor Doddy to Vice Chairman and your promotion to that position.
Thank you.
My petition is, I've got 174 signatures asking for a two-can crossing on Bowbridge Road, and it's between a hospital and a school, and it's very, very busy. And so we've done all the hard work. They've identified there is a need for it, but it's my understanding is it's not going to be put in until 2027. That's a long way away, and people's lives are at risk while it's still as it is. Also, I'd like to consider that you put yellow lines along those roads. I'll take the time, I'm stopping my walk.
And I call on Councillor Joseph Rich. Please present your petition requesting a residence parking scheme on Beaton Street, Sutton in Ashfield.
Thank you, Chair. Before I start, I want to congratulate you and Doddy for being appointed. So let's start the minute, shall we? So I want to the Chair, the residents of Beaton Street, the petition for implementing residential permit parking on a scheme of the street due to the increased volume of non-residential parking. Residents are finding it increasingly difficult to park near their homes, get their bins collected, and emergency services coming down the street. Thank you.
And I call on Councillor John O'Lee. Please present a petition requesting consideration of Farnwood roundabout site for wooden ox sculpture.
Thank you very much. Let me start by congratulating you both to the position. John, it is a very serious position being the Deputy Chair. Mick, if you change your mind again after a year, I'm still available. So yeah, this is really important. The Parish Council proposed a site for a wooden ox. The residents were up in arms. I stepped in, working with officers, and now we're trying to come up with a compromise that is a new site that is backed by 61 residents in less than 15 days. I would ask the portfolio holder to take this under major consideration when he's looking for a site for the art installation. Thank you very much.
Sorry. And I call on Councillor Harry Ohm. Please present a petition requesting increased parking enforcement on Wilford Lane and surrounding streets.
Thank you, Chair, and congratulations on yours and Vice Chair's appointment today. I present this petition against illegal parking on Wilford Lane and surrounding roads. Vehicles are regularly parked on double yellow lines, blocking pavements and creating safety risks for pedestrians, particularly the elderly residents, wheelchair users, and parents with pushchairs. Despite repeated I ask the Council to support this petition and call for increased funding for parking enforcement officers to help keep our streets safe. Thank you.
And I'll call on Councillor Teresa Collin. Please present a petition requesting a residence parking scheme on Waverley Avenue and Westwood Avenue, Beeston.
Thank you, Chairman. Congratulations to the double act over there that you've been appointed for this year. Despite your decision not to fund any further such residence parking schemes, I'm asking for a special consideration and dispensation for this. Waverley Avenue and Westwood Avenue in the centre of Beeston has had a block of a 415-bedroom student accommodation built on the site of the former multi-storey car park. 415 potential new cars. They've already suffered a terrible time during the building of this block of accommodation with all the workmen's vans being parked there and everything. And now they face the prospect 150 yards away from where their homes are, no possibility at all of ever being able to park outside their home. So they're appealing for a residence parking scheme. Every single person that was asked in the survey has asked for it, despite the fact they'll have to pay for it. Nobody at all has objected to it. This is really important. It will cause chaos in the centre of Beeston without it. Thank you.
I now ask Council to resolve that the petitions be referred to the appropriate cabinet members for consideration. A report will be brought back to the Council in due course in accordance with standing orders. All those in favour? I now declare that the outcome of the vote is unanimous and passed. We'll now move to item 8B, responses to petitions presented to the chairman of the County Council. I move that the contents of the report and the actions approved be noted. Are there any speakers on this item, please? Councillor Fascia, please, can you speak?
Thank you, Chairman, and congratulations on your appointment, and to Councillor Doddy as well. I thank the officers for preparing this report. Not necessarily being someone who takes no for an answer, I have invited the cabinet members to come to the area that was asking for the 20-mile-per-hour limit. I thank Councillor Siemens for visiting and meeting with myself and a resident. He did see why this area would benefit from a 20-mile-per-hour limit, not least when we had to jump into a hedge to allow cars to pass by on the very narrow carriageway. I also thank Councillor Siemens for writing an email of support for the 20-mile-per-hour limit, and yeah, we await the response for that. Thank you.
Do we have any others, please? Thank you. This to note, report has been received by the chamber. Thank you. We now move to item number 9, recognition of members and officers of groups. I call upon Councillor Martin Wright to move the recommendations in this report.
Thank you, Chairman. This report, recognition of members and officers of groups, I'd like to formally move, and in doing so, I'd also like to welcome Councillor Dawn Justice into her new role as Deputy Leader of the Reform Group. Thank you.
Thank you. I now call upon Councillor Mick Barton to second the motion, sir.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman, and reserve the right.
Thank you. And I open the debate for anyone who would like to speak on this, please. All right, we got no speakers. I now ask on Councillor Mick Barton to please speak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This item seeks to formally recognise the composition of the council's political groups and note the appointed officers within each group in accordance with the council's constitution. I would formally like to welcome Councillor Dawn Justice as being my deputy leader, but I'd also like to thank John Doddy for being my deputy leader for the last 12 months. And also you will continue, as well as being vice chair, so congratulations, as being the job of your chairman of the Health and Wellbeing Board. So you will continue to do the good work of that. I just want to formally recognise that and wish you all the best in your new roles. Thank you, Chairman.
Nothing to add, Chairman.
We now move quickly to item number 10, establishment of committees. I call upon Councillor Mick Barton to move the recommendations in this report.
I will move the recommendations in the report. Can I speak on them later or after or now?
You have a right to reply, yeah.
Okay, lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And I call upon Councillor Martin Wright to second the motion, please.
I formally second the motion, Chairman, and reserve the right. Thank you.
And I call upon speakers who would like to speak, and I open the debate on this issue.
Councillor Smith.
All right. We've got Councillor Smith. Please, sir, can you speak?
Thank you, Chairman, and good afternoon, colleagues. Congratulations, Chairman, on your elevation to
this role and look forward to attending the meetings with you at the helm and seeing you around the county at events. Just on the establishment of committees and the cabinet, it seems the merry-go-round of reform councillors swapping seats has now completed for this round, Mr. Chairman. The music has stopped and everybody's sat down for now. I'd just like to congratulate Councillor Stoll. I genuinely believe that the post that you're in is probably the most important for our residents who see services, because you are cross-departmental, you impact every resident your department does. And I've already, I think I can write on my CV or accolade that I've been the first councillor in this chamber to lobby you already for works that we can work together on the LCF and CDF. So I look forward to pursuing that on a cross-party matter, because it really does matter to the residents right across Nottinghamshire. Congratulations, Councillor Justice, on becoming Deputy Leader, and thank you for the work that you have done in the department that you're handing over to Councillor Stoll. I think I've been nice enough now, Mr. Chairman, if I can move on. I'd like to congratulate Councillor Barton. You finally found a use for Councillor Doddy. No good as Deputy Leader, no good as a Conservative, but he'll now wear a chain for a year and see what he can do.
Point of order, Chair.
Sody, I don't think you can do that from the top.
I did say that it would be an interactive role. I do think if I'm going to be declared, I do think if you're going to declare.
Vice Chair, please, would you please sit down? Thank you, sir.
What about thank you. I'll carry on. Rumour is, Councillor Doddy, rumour is that Councillor Doddy missed the AGM to get re-elected as Deputy Leader because he was in Egypt on holiday. Well, looking at the fantastic visits that Councillor Gold went on, 104 or 128, whatever figure we're going off, I'd like to recommend you probably cancel some holidays, Doddy, because you're going to be very busy shaking hands and doing things. So let's see that. But just some advice to Councillor Doddy: don't stand on the chair. Can't afford them. I don't know if Councillor Matthews has put some new ones in the budget. And it is really interesting that the civil office is going to be uplifted, and there's going to be chauffeur-driven cars. This is the reform way. Chauffeur-driven cars are coming back. What services are going to be cut? We don't know. Let's hope it's not in our divisions. And I'd like to ask Councillor Matthews if he would reply to this speech to tell me where in the budget line you've got Councillor Doddy's great ideas for. Because I didn't see it on our budget, and we would have taken it out, wouldn't we, Councillor Beswick, if it was there. So let's see what that wants. And then Councillor Doddy, in his first speech as Deputy Leader, you've been demoted, Vice Chairman, sorry, not Deputy Leader anymore, was that he wants to open up scrutiny and fairness. I wonder, while he was Deputy Leader, no wonder why they've got rid of you, I wondered why he was Deputy Leader if you'd read the next item about the constitutional changes, because everything you've said as Vice Chairman, which I support, by the way, wholeheartedly support, is being ripped out of this council in one of the items shortly after. So I hope Councillor Justice, as the incoming Deputy Leader, does a much better job at opening up scrutiny of this council. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Smith. I'll call on Councillor Mann, please speak.
Thank you, Chair, and once again, congratulations on your new role alongside Vice Chair as well. So firstly, congratulations to Councillor Justice on her new position as Deputy Leader. Dawn will be an asset, will continue to be an asset for the Council. Having worked closely with Councillor Justice over the last few months as Deputy Cabinet Member for Communities and Public Health, I have seen firsthand how hard-working and conscientious Dawn is. I will miss working with Dawn. However, I will take this opportunity to welcome and congratulate Councillor Stoll to his new role of Cabinet Member for Communities and Public Health, and look forward to a positive, proactive and close working relationship. Moving forward, I'm sure working as a team, Jodie and I will continue Dawn's great work of liaising with and promoting Nottinghamshire's great communities and public health services. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I've got Councillor Clooney, who would now speak, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Just going on to something that I noticed in the appendix, actually on page 46, but I think it's mentioned a few times, you changed the name of the Nottinghamshire plan to Our Council Plan. And I was just wondering what was the thinking behind that, because I would have thought it belongs to the people of Nottinghamshire already. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Justice, can you please speak?
Thank you, Chairman, and I'd also like to congratulate you on your appointment and also congratulate Councillor Doddy. I'd like to say a few more personal thank yous as well. When Councillor Barton first asked me if I'd be interested in taking on the role of the Deputy Leader, I was a little hesitant, but I'll come back to that. I'd like to say a big thank you to all my Reform colleagues. You've been fantastic in your support of me in my previous role, and I'd like to thank you all for your kindness and support that you've shown me as I prepare to move on to my new role. Your reactions and comments and compliments have been truly amazing. And as I move forward into my new role, I know I will be working with the support of a great team, because that's what we are. We are a team. I mentioned I was a little hesitant at first to take up the new role, and that was because I knew making the move would mean I would have to leave behind the great communities and public health team. As a council, we are so lucky to have the officers who work in this portfolio. And Councillor Stoll is a lucky man to be taking over this role, which will include him playing an active role in Nottinghamshire's first-class library service. So good luck to Jodie, and I know you will do a fantastic job, and you will be ably supported by Councillor Mann. Lastly, I cannot conclude without thanking Councillor Doddy, who played such an important role in our administration's first year. Without John, our council plan would not have taken shape as easily as it did, nor would it be in the fantastic format it is in. Councillor Doddy chaired the meetings and helped put the plan together very swiftly and very thoroughly. So thank you for playing that important role. And I know you've done that and so much more in your role, in your position as Deputy Leader. I would also like to say that I'm pleased that John will continue in his stewardship of the Health and Wellbeing Board. I appreciate John's guidance and support to the team over the past 12 months, and I wish him well in his new and challenging position as Vice Chair of the Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Justice, for that. Councillor Jodie, please, can you speak? Thank you very much, Chairman. Can I place on record my thanks to Councillor Justice for the tremendous work that she has carried out over the past year in the public health and communities portfolio, and I know I inherit a very well expertly run portfolio. So I really thank her for her stewardship. I'd like to place on record my thanks to Councillor Barton, our leader, for the faith he's placed in me. I will not let you down, sir, and very much look forward to working with Councillor Mann here, who is going to be showing me the work that she's been doing over the past few months while she's been in her role. Councillor Mann was the very first person I ever met in this great political party. So it feels very apt for me for us to be working together. So I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you, everybody, including Councillor Smith, for your warm words. But on that note, I would like to just remind you that 1 year ago, there were many predictions made about this administration in this chamber. And we were told that we didn't have a clue, we didn't know what we were doing. And I think really under the stewardship of Councillor Barton, we have done lots. From your previous record of £72 million invested in the roads, a year later, £183.25 million invested in the roads. So, you know, you were told, somebody here, I think it was Councillor Lee, told us that he could read people very well and he was seldom wrong. Well, you were not very good at reading this
Chairman,
administration.
point of
and you were
order.
wrong.
I
But,
told John Doddy he
thank
would
you very
spend
much.
less than a year in charge and they'd get rid of him because of his shenanigans. Look where we are now, so I was completely right on that. I said John Doddy was a clown and you wouldn't put up with him. You've done again.
But anyway, thank you very much.
Councillor Gill. Can I?
Point of order, Mr.
I'd like
Chair.
to call on Councillor Collins.
Point of order. Point of order, if you'll take it, Chair.
Yes, please. I'll take that.
Okay, it's just in relation to point of order 100. I know Councillor Lee wanted to raise a point of order, but we're starting with a new chair, and the principle is, if you want to raise a point of order, you wait for the chair to call you. So it's disorderly conduct if you just pick up your microphone and start to speak without the chair's authority. So I would call on all members, if you do wish to call points of order, it goes through the chair and the chairman gives you the permission to raise it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I call on Councillor Collins to please speak.
Okay, boys, quiet it down a bit. That's hilarious. A point of order about a point of order. That was hilarious. Congratulations on the appointments and the changes. We're over in our group, the Nottinghamshire Alliance. We're interested and we welcome the changes. We congratulate you all on your new posts. I hope that now the things that got missed, I hope that you've got it right for this year. Hope that the things that got missed last year that did have impact on our communities will be addressed, in particular for me, and I never come to a meeting without mentioning the voluntary sector, and in particularly the cut of funding to the voluntary sector that has had quite a big effect on organisations across the sector can now be sorted out and things can be helped in the community, but obviously the roads and the priorities. I want to raise, just for Councillor Doddy, I was really interested to listen to your speech. Having been a civic head myself in a different authority, you need to be really well aware that it's a non-political position, but also, you know, mentioning in your speech that you would like, for your own personal benefit, a chauffeur-driven car is quite astonishing. And also that you want the civic role to become something much different. I find it astonishing, but I'm sure it was your usual over-enthusiasm that led you to say those things. And I'm looking forward to this year with great interest. Thank you.
Can I call on Councillor Carr, please, to speak?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My wife was appointed Mayor of Broxtowe last night, and it was very different to this meeting this morning. However, we tend to do things a little more together in Broxtowe, and we cooperate a lot more, and we're actually quite friendly between the political groups. However, I would point out, and I've heard this time and time and time again, we are spending more on roads than anybody has done any before, because of the Labour government, because of the Labour mayor. And I'm not a member of the Labour Party, but hats off, and where it's due, that we're able to do this because of the Labour Party. You hate reform, hate the Labour Party, but, you know, let's not sit here and listen to this rubbish.
You've just taken on a Labour Party advice.
About you being able to do this. It's Labour that's done it for you. And I'm just actually grateful that we've got through this debate without male genitalia being mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Carr. I call on Councillor John Doddy, a Vice Chair, to please speak.
Thank you very much indeed. I feel like I've got to create a CV or a resume to remind people of the sheer volume of work that is associated with the deputy chair, deputy leader position. It was mentioned earlier on that we did the forward plan 2026 to 30, and that took quite a body of work and is now published and widely commended by all those people who have taken the time to read it. Can I say that I'm also the chair of regional migration for the entirety of the East Midlands, some 5 million people? Can I say that the work of the Health and Wellbeing Board progresses? And we have not forgotten our requirements for fluoridation. And I did have an issue earlier on I was going to discuss, Chair, with regards to a joint strategic needs assessment on fluoridation. I'm driving pioneering work through the Public Health Department, the like of which you've probably never seen. I'm on the East Midlands Committee, I'm on the East Midlands Combined Counties Authority, and sometimes I have to say that when you fall out of power, you stop seeing the work of government. Sometimes when you fall out of power and you're sitting at home reading your newspaper, you forget that there's a whole body of 41 other people doing the work that you used to do. Sometimes your memory lapses and you think, well, what are they doing? That's because you haven't done it for a long time and you may never ever do it again. So that's a little bit sad. I'm delighted to actually tell you that there's a huge body of work going on. Everybody on this side of the room knows that. Everybody on this side of the road knows the sheer body of work that's going on. And I do appreciate criticism, but it has to be valid. Has to be valid. So all I can say is that, do you know, I think it's time for dinner. But I'm only the vice chair. I can't make that decision. Over to you, Chair.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. Thank you for a very nice speech. Can I call on Councillor Wilmot, please, to present?
Yes, thank you very much, Chairman. Can I first of all congratulate yourself and the Vice Chairman on the being elected into that post that they've got. Now, and also congratulate all the new cabinet members and also the deputy members and the vice chairmans and the chairmans and so forth. But I do remember in the last government of this council that our opposition members were made vice chairs. A very sensible position which helped in the democracy of this authority. It really did. But I don't see any of that. I don't see any situation where that democracy is being put forward at all. And looking at the future agenda items, it looks to me as if debate is going to be totally stifled. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Councillor Wilmot, for that. I'll now call on Councillor Martin Wright, please, to speak.
Thank you, Chairman. Other than to say I get a strong whiff of sour grapes from the direction of the Conservative group leader, I'm a bit disgusted, really. I've been in council chambers since 2009. I've never witnessed a personal attack on a former member at an AGM of a full council. I think it's disgraceful. Yeah, it is. I've got nothing else to say. Thank you, Chair.
Also.
Thank you, Councillor Martin Wright. I'll call upon Councillor Mick Barton for your right to reply.
Thank you, Chairman. I'll echo what Martin's just said. I'm not going to go back on what other members have said that's trying to bring this item down. I'm going to keep it professional. That's what we do on this side of the chamber. It's all right laughing. It's irrelevant what you lots just said. I'll tell you what, apart from Councillor Clune, I'll check on that regarding the name of the forward plan for you. That was a sensible suggestion. The rest is nonsense. And it is sour grapes. Look, there's 41 of us. We're a strong team. We've done more in 12 months than you lot did in 4 years. So shut up. Chairman, I would like to welcome again John Justice as my deputy leader. I would like to thank John for all the great work he did and supporting me as deputy leader. He's now been promoted to the vice chair of this council. I would like to welcome Jody Stoll and his cabinet member for communities and public health. I would also like to welcome deputy cabinet member Richard Ward, who is joining James Walker-Gurley as the cabinet member for economic development and asset management. I would also like to welcome Joseph Rich, who is now the chairman of Adult Social Care L Select Committee, and also his deputy, Kev Dale. I would also like to welcome Jan Gould as the Children and Families Select Committee. And finally, last but not least, Jim Vernon, who is now going to be the deputy for the L Scrutiny Committee. With that, I now put it to you as the chairman.
Thank you very much, Councillor McBatten, for that beautiful reply. I will now put the motion to the vote. Can we all raise our hands? Please? All those in favour? Yes.
Unanimous, though. Yep, that's unanimous.
Yes. I now declare the outcome of the vote. It is unanimous and it is carried. Thank you. And of course, we'll now break for lunch. It's time for food.
Till 1:40.
We'll be back at 1:40, please. Thank you. 1:30.
No, it's an act.
Yes. 1:40. Yes.